Welcome everybody. Today I'm covering the Build 42.14 update that just dropped, and it includes some incredible quality of life changes with certain features returning. A big rebalance to ammunition, multiplayer fixes, and plenty more. So, the patch notes begin with some information that you may find useful. Players who want to remain on 42.13.2 can select the outdated unstable Steam beta to continue their game. We will be removing the 42.13.1 beta soon. Players who wish to remain on that version of the game are recommended to make manual backups. As always, it is recommended that you create a new save with no mods after updates. Updates fix bugs and introduce new changes that may not be compatible with any older saves, especially ones older than the last patch. Honestly, I don't always do this, but I have no right to complain when things inevitably go wrong. If you are having issues, as usual, disable all mods, create a new save, and if you continue having the same issues, make a bug report in the subsection of the forum following the posting guide. Links to this and the patch notes will be in the description as always. Alright, enough yapping. If you aren't already, hit subscribe and let's jump into the new stuff. They updated sitting animations. Players can sit on significantly more seats now, including hay bales and toilets. Added dental floss as a thread equivalent item to the game. Fishing line can also now be used for crafts, patching and stitching alongside thread. Premium fishing line can be used for the previous usages, as well as being used for crafts that require sinew thread or aramid thread. Disabled motion sickness trait pending health balance overhaul. Now we know how bad that one was. Tail lights now provide illumination, added guns to display counters, and they also changed the display names of some firearm items. And we'll take a proper look at that in one of the sections coming up. They added new item icons and updated logos in the game, added agri worker, camp worker, and hunter storage rooms to distributions, and they added tile properties to more tiles. Onto the next section, which is UI. And let's start out with the incredible changes to the right mouse click menu. The right mouse click inventory menu now displays appropriate available crafting shortcuts when all crafting requirements are met. The inventory craft shortcut searches for all available crafting recipes using the item. This replaces show craft recipes used in, and this searches for items instead of string names for cleaner return results. Now I'm a big fan of that one, but this next one might be even better, as we have a massively requested return. Barricade build shortcut added to tile, window and door menus when all building requirements are met. Thank you. Make sure it works with the door. Oh yeah. The right mouse click, inventory and tile actions have been reordered and consolidated for priority actions. The tile menus display appropriate interaction icon. When multiple inventory items are selected that can be read, you can read all. And lastly, they added wash vehicle to the vehicle radial menu. And the next section is sound effects. Alright, they added quite a lot of new sound effects, so trying to show all of these right now would take way too long. So let me just rattle through these real quick. New sound effects for mineral deposit and stones remove. Added the hammer or action animation, which plays a different sound instead of hammering. New sound effects for smashing stone, bone and metal. There are additional sounds for smoking. Let's go. New ambient sound emitters for military tents. New sound effects for preparing cooking ingredients. New changed sound effects for large wardrobes. New sounds for chicken and turkey footsteps. They added new weapon sounds. New vehicle surface sound type for railroads. And updated the sound when opening a can with a knife. Then a few fixes for the washing clothes animation. They fixed the metal pole fences playing the incorrect sound. Fixed the pen light missing sound effects. And they fixed the inside vehicle lock trunk playing the wrong sound. I did check out one sound which was very nice. Listen to this. Moving on. If you want your very own Project Zomboid server to play with your friends, then you should check out Pine Hosting. I use Pine for my community server, and it has been consistently smooth and reliable. Their high-performance servers have global locations, DDoS protection, and quality support when you need it. If you have a server with another provider, they will personally help you move over, meaning you can take advantage of the incredibly affordable prices, intuitive console, and workshop installer. They make it super easy for every step, allowing you you to get set up within minutes. However, it's not just Project Zomboid. They offer hosting for a wide range of games, from Rust to Minecraft, Valheim and more. And to top it all off, you can use code AWP to get 30% off your order. Use the link in the description or pinned comment to help support the channel and get yourself a deal. Huge thanks to Pine Hosting for sponsoring this video. Let's get back on with it. Next up, we have the balance section, where they increased how quickly dragged zombies are dropped. Zombie skeletons now weigh 7 instead of 20, like a corpse. They consolidated dismantle TV and radio into one single recipe. They have fine-tuned the vehicle hit mechanics in single player and multiplayer for regular and ragdoll zombies. And this should fix most of the odd bugs with vehicles versus regular and ragdoll zombies. Also, vehicle damage is now handled correctly in multiplayer and single player. They changed discomfort to increase stress, not unhappiness. Characters with an encumbrance moodle in a vehicle will accumulate discomfort scaling with the severity of the moodle. A new custom percentage of door opening zombies can be set in sandbox settings. Cognition must be set to random and not navigate and use doors for this. Now hold up real quick. I have actually never played with that turned on because it feels kind of psychotic and terrifying. Let me know down below if you actually play with those on. They trifurcated literature loot settings into skill books, recipe resources, and other literature options. And now animals flee from vehicles from a further distance. Consuming nicotine will reduce the character's hunger level. What a great day this is. The stone wall, stone door frame, and stone window frame tiles now use stone blocks and not stones to construct. Characters with the death trait will not accumulate stress from sounds such as zombies banging on fences. You can now do concurrent actions when opening and closing a window as you can with doors. Bellows can't be removed from the forge anymore, and more counters now have container properties. Which leads us on to the ammunition rebalance. So, they have changed the MSR 700 to use 5.56 rounds instead of the 2.23 rounds. They replaced all references to 2.23 ammunition in the loot tables with 5.56 ammunition, which also means they removed items for 2.23 ammunition, such as rounds, boxes, cartons. They added items for new ammunition types, such as rounds, boxes, and cartons. They consolidated the ammunition carton packing and unpacking recipes with a generic carton packing, unpacking recipe. The M625 revolver now uses 3.57 Magnum ammunition. Added 3.57 Magnum ammunition items to the loot tables, adjusted the weights of several firearm and ammunition box items. The JS2000 shotgun now has a capacity of 5+1 instead of 6+1, and they replaced references to bullets in recipe text strings to rounds. So the M625 revolver has now been renamed / replaced by the Patrol revolver, and the M36 revolver is now the SN38 revolver. Also, the M14 is now the M1A rifle, which is the civilian semi-auto only version of the M14. And lastly, the Desert Eagle / DE pistol is now the BF pistol. Alright, next up is multiplayer, and I apologize for how many times I'm about to say the word fixed, because they fixed melee attacks passing through zombies, which is a big one. They fixed errors and lags caused by composters, fixed gun magazines disappearing after reloading, fixed being unable to connect to a closed Steam server with an existing account until you add a user's Steam ID. Fixed issues with siphoning gasoline into a small container. There is a new tooltip for granting perks to players. Re-implemented the option to disable war on servers. Fixed passenger leaving a vehicle through the driver's door. They addressed the issue with dedicated server backups. They were incomplete compared to build 41. Fixed poisonous mushrooms becoming ordinary after being picked. Fixed corpse sickness in multiplayer. They fixed the applied bandages disappearing from the character model after relogging. Fixed exercising with barbells, quickly exhausting the player completely and providing an exceptional amount of XP. They fixed the put chicken in hutch action, creating a chicken duplicate in a player's inventory. Those pesky chickens love causing problems, man. Fixed and synchronized animal info, fixed player state where a player couldn't get into the vehicle, fixed coffee machines and toasters, fixed some houses that cannot be claimed as safe houses, fixed unhappiness value not affecting the duration of actions in multiplayer, fixed car trailers that spawn mid-air, fixed body heat generation staying at the same value, fixed character's core temperature value not changing when near a campfire, fixed campfire illumination range doesn't correlate to the remaining campfire fuel, fixed custom role abilities not saving after server restart, fixed admin cheats untoggled after relogging, and they also fixed a few timed actions being eating with an equipped mask, not equipping it after eating, applying and removing bandages not queuing, smoking, destroy for fuel all and only one item is used, and for making stew and soup out of your inventory. And remember, I do cut down these lists quite a lot, so if there's something you're hoping for that I haven't said, you may want to go look for that in the full patch notes, in case I missed it. Okay, the next section is for overall fixes. They fixed an invisible obstacle blocking players from driving along the pier, fixed the bug with max bag/trunk capacity locked at 100, fixed not being able to grab corpses in small rooms, fixed undesired loot spawning when loot settings are set to none, fixed vehicle and trailer teleport to northwest corner of a chunk, fixed ragdolls ignoring stomps, and fixed ragdolls getting stuck in walls after falling from tall buildings, fixed the M14 attachment locations, fixed not being able to dump paint buckets, fixed applying a dirty bandage to a wound and no bandage being returned when removed, fixed depth and mapping issues in more tiles, fixed disassembling any electronics in the inventory gives less XP than placed ones. They reduced vehicle damage from small animals, such as rabbits, rats and mice, fixed caffeine pills resetting fatigue to 0, fixed candy cane pose when Zeds are killed by a car, fixed an exploit where repair engine percentage was calculated from all engine parts in backpacks, but only removed engine parts from main inventory. Alright, we are almost finished, but I wanted to quickly say if you are still watching this video right now, you're a real one and I genuinely appreciate you. Fixed characters that start with the low weight trait will once again spawn at 70 weight instead of 80. They fixed some missing street names, fixed double shove animation with multiple zombies around. They also fixed zombies missing the shove animation when shoved from behind. They fixed removing a magazine with ammo in inventory causes character to reinsert the magazine, fixed game crashes after zombies attack an animal, fixed not being able to kill some animals in the character's inventory, fixed fuel consumption for idling engine having the wrong calculation, fixed the wide log gate opening oddly, and lastly they fixed the large window panes not showing when glass is being safely removed. The player cannot walk through these and they still behave as windows. Then they finish off with a technical/debug section with things like code cleanups, more things being ported to Lua, and a whole bunch of other things that you can check out if you understand them, unlike me. Anyway, that is the end of the video. If you did enjoy, found it helpful, or some good background noise, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Have an amazing day, and peace.